sending out notices to them, what the status is as far as we're getting, title to the property, or when were they last, so we have a checklist to go through. So if somebody has a question, we can say, this is where we're at. And we really don't have a real good system right now for that, so.
And Bob sent us out some stuff, and we've looked at it, the problem with some of that stuff is it's from larger cities, and those people have departments that do nothing but nuisance abatement all day long, where it's hard for us to be able to do that. So,
one of the things I did like, though, is, for example, just had the brain, Newton and I think it was Iowa City had a nice brochure on what is a nuisance.
yeah, and that is a good idea, maybe to do
There's
something like
on our
that.
website that defines, gives a picture, says, okay, tire sitting in your front lawn, my house, stink coming from the neighbor, those kinds of things are a nuisance. I think that would be good to put something like that out there.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ideas that we could take and implement those. Mason City had some good ones too, I think.
Yeah, that's good information, and it's good to look at it, and maybe we can come up with something like that too. But I like the idea of getting Luke involved with this too, because he knows all the legal aspects of it, where sometimes we think it's legal isn't really legal, so.
Well, the other thing I thought, is we define what a nuisance is. Listening to the conversation in the past, that's always been, well, what's a nuisance? And I think, if we can have 12 pictures and say this is a nuisance, then we can hang our hat on it, as opposed to, oh, I'm not really sure what a nuisance is.
Well, our nuisance ordinance is pretty good. I mean, it lists a lot of things in there, but it's hard, like you say, with a picture, it's a lot easier to tell, this is a nuisance.
In that aspect, I could see whether it be the ordinance committee or some, city hall committee, if we want to sit down and really start listing off, okay, well, where do we want to draw that line? How restrictive do we want to be, and really come up with those parameters.
But some of these nuisance, I think we can bring, because some of them I look at, I think, I don't know how much of a nuisance it is, but it's sure a fire hazard, so we need to look at some of that too.
I'm glad to see activity at Carletto would be too. Just people they just want to see stuff taken care of.
And I understand where they're at, and it's.
That's where I think that process would help us out, because it is such a long, drawn-out process. It looks like nothing's happening. And if you have that, that timeline sheet saying, well, hey, this is where we are, this is what we're doing, at least you've got something to go off with.
That's a comfort to the people that are living next to what they think is a nuisance. And you wrote up our current ordinance, and I mailed it to my complainers, and it amounted to blocking rivers, highways. You can't. There wasn't any.
Yeah.
There wasn't any nuisance language. Bob's language is invaluable to at least get something that we can deal with, because that was way out of bounds for anybody to handle, yourself or anybody else.
Get a procedure set up. I could do like Arletto. We'd have it all in a book, and she could say, well, how's this one coming? Well, here's the book, and you can go right through it and see what's being done and
along that
where
same
we're at.
lines, were you able to get together that information that I wanted?
You can come in. I've got files and files and files you can go back through. I mean, I don't have anything. We don't have a procedure, so there's nothing in order. You can just go through I got folders, and you can go through them and see where letters have been sent.
Right.
That's no problem. Maybe, if we get something set, maybe we can even do a spreadsheet in the computer, where it'd be a lot easier to find than it is just, well, as you can see, my organization skills in my office here aren't the best, but, I've got files with all that stuff in. It's just finding them and going through them.
I like the procedure idea. It doesn't fall through the cracks either.
Right.
And
What, Bob?
Having a procedure to check it off, it doesn't fall through the cracks or get put in the back file.
Right.
And at our, I think it was the second meeting in July there, we talked about the time aspect, and maybe if there's ways to get Doug some assistance. In that meantime, Doug and I have met with the fire department drivers and guys to help out some, at least going out, taking the pictures, doing a lot of the legwork and stuff that's involved with that, you know, trimming the property owners and so that's, you know, as we evolve that should help ease the burden on you and be able to focus on those ordinances and nuisances and all that good stuff.
So if you see a big white truck out there and there's somebody out taking pictures, that's what they'll be doing, is helping out on the nuisance stuff.
One question, is that going to cause no one covering in the fire station or cause a
Well,
problem in?
It would
Well,
happen.
that would be see, when they would go out, they would take one of the trucks with them.
They would probably take
Fire.
engine 3, which is the answer
But it
city
would not
or
be on their
rural.
off-duty time, it would be on their duty time?
On duty
They would
time.
do this?
Right.
So they'd be out with a truck, taking pictures and doing my stuff at the courthouse for me type thing. And then give them some training on doing some of my inspections while I'm gone, as far as footing inspections or what needs to be done there. And they're more than willing to do that, and I think it's a good use of the personnel. I think it's, I don't know if it's Mason City or Charles City, one of the two, their on-duty people do all the nuisance stuff. That's part of their job, is to go out and do the nuisance. But if I had that help, that would certainly help if they just went out and got the pictures for me. And then what we have to do is we have to go to the courthouse through the assessors to make sure. What we need to know is where they send their tax stuff to, because a lot of times it'll give an owner, you know, it's rental property, but I can't get on the assessor's website and pick up an address off that to where I need to send these letters to. Because that's where they actually gotta go to, is the property owner, not who's living there. They gotta go to the property owner to start there, and then the property owner needs to take care of it, or then we can go after it.
It would seem to call to question if they can do this, do we need so many full-time firemen? If you have to find ways to keep them busy.
I'm not finding ways to keep them busy. They're just going to help me.
That's what's gonna happen though.
No, and it won't, because they won't be out that much. They're, you know, maybe they're out 15, 20 minutes a day.
Just be an on-call basis? Whenever you need them, you just call them?
Well, whenever I need them, I'll just send them out to do my, you know, let's say we got a complaint over here that, whatever it is. So I just send them, they go out there, it takes them 10 minutes to go out and take the pictures and get back to the station. I mean, that's all
They're just gonna be picture takers?
yeah, they're not, that's all they'll be doing, is they'll be doing the picture taking for me. I mean, it's city personnel, they're here.
Yeah, I love every one of them. I just said,
Yeah.
it just seems it calls into question, you know, if they're out there like somebody said, and we have a fire or we have something else.
That's why they take a truck.
Yeah.
So doesn't make any difference if they respond from here or respond from there. I mean, you know, they might be right
Oh, it
next
doesn't.
door if they're there.
No, it doesn't, that's right.
So it's just a way to get me some help, to help me do some of that stuff.
Yeah,